Chinese exports surged by a third to $264 billion in April from a year ago as global demand for Chinese electronics, medical equipment, and clothes increased around the world. And Chinese imports climbed even higher by more than 43% to $221 billion. In terms of trading partners, the Southeast Asian nations, or Asean group, remain the largest, followed by the European Union, the U.S., and Japan. China's total trade surplus stood at $43 billion for the month. All right, let's go to Chelsea Delaney in Frankfurt for more. Chelsea, good morning. We're accustomed to seeing Chinese numbers improving as they get to control the pandemic. This was still surprising, wasn't it?
Well, these figures were generally better than most economists had been expecting. Chinese export and import data has been really crucial this year because China has really been the engine of economic growth for the world because their economy is growing so much faster than many other developed economies that it doesn't seem to be abating. Their trade really was quite strong with many of their partners, including the EU, the US. But I'd say what was possibly most surprising to economists is that imports, Chinese imports, are starting to really pick up. And this has been a concern throughout the pandemic that China's economy was too dependent on export growth. It wasn't really benefiting from Chinese consumer spending. It does seem that we're starting to see that change, and economists think that could really set the stage for a more sustainable economic recovery in China.
All right, we know that China really trying to emphasize the domestic consumer in the years ahead. Now, Chelsea, we also saw new numbers from Germany in March. Export numbers up 1.2%. What should we make of that?
Well, I think this shows that Germany is still continuing to see strength in its export data. A lot of this is because of China. So sort of the flip side of China's economic story is that Germany and the broader European Union are really benefiting from sales to China. So in March, we saw German exports, to China rise by about 38%. Looking deeper into this data, we did see also German exports to the UK decline, but in general, German exports are still holding up.
All right, Chelsea Delaney in Frankfurt, thank you.